There's a quiet strength in letting go, not with bitterness, but with grace. Because sometimes the bravest thing we can do is open our hands and trust that what's meant for us won't miss us. Hi, how are you? I hope that everything you're working on is working out. We have been married now for 252 days and I am ready to keep going with life. But first, before we start, I really want to thank you for all of your comments. I see the comments and I appreciate them so much. The comments is what is just keeping me going, and I really just appreciate connecting with you. It's literally my favorite thing about being on YouTube. And if you didn't know this yet and you don't know what I'm about to talk about, you really should go watch the last vlog, because then you'll actually understand what's happening. I'm feeling a lot better today. Wait, I'll just grab you because I actually want to go downstairs, which is why I have all these things in my hand. Yeah, so like I was saying, I actually feel a lot better today. Yesterday was one of those days where I couldn't really like fathom what was happening, because the whole time I was constantly telling my husband like, what is life? Like, I'm so just shocked and confused. Wait, I'm trying to like do this, all of this at the same time. So confused. Like, I was supposed to be at work, right? You know, starting my first day, doing a bunch of new things, or maybe like old things, who knows. All I know is that I was very like living in a state of like shock. But now, today when I woke up, I just felt so much better. I just really felt like myself. I felt like, okay, you know, it is what it is. God knows what he's doing, and I'm ready to keep going. Like, that's literally how I woke up this morning, and I'm so grateful for that feeling, honestly. So today, or this morning actually, I did a little bit of work and you know, just did my hair, and now I am kind of ready to focus a little bit on my health, because I noticed that in the last, I would say like a week, it's a lot worse the last couple of days, that my stomach feels so bloated to the point where I feel like I can't breathe if I'm sitting up. If you don't know this yet, I have adenomyosis. Because of that, I have an inflammation happening in my uterus depending on what I eat. And I gotta be really honest, I haven't been eating the healthiest. Like, I really just haven't been doing what I need to do. So I'm gonna start that again. I keep saying that I'm starting and then I don't completely finish it, but I'm actually like for real going to push myself to take it serious this time, because I fear that, okay, I'm not gonna say it. I feel like I need to really start paying attention to it. That's all. Like, I need to do my best and actually, you know, do something about this disease that I'm dealing with. So we are going to make some ginger shots. Usually my husband does them, but we actually have a, do you call it a food process? No, a juicer. We have a juicer. We just don't like to clean it, so he usually just uses a blender. And, you know, just have that like be a super easy and like quick way to, or at least it's not really that quick, is it? No, it's not quick at all, actually. It's actually a lot longer to get it done that way, but it's not as much of a mess to clean up. But I'm actually just going to push myself to make this juice. So let's make some ginger shots. Okay. I'm not even gonna open that completely because you should not see how like messy it is in there. Not for your eyes. We have this really old Princess juicer. We bought this like 5 years ago, something like that. Still works perfectly fine. Ready? Yeah, good enough. So it's not as like strong. One thing I noticed when it comes to using the juicer is like the smaller it personally to get it like through the thingamabob, like this thing on top here. Like once it's like big and chunky, ooh, like me and my strength. And then I'm gonna take an orange in the living room. I have like wait, my hands are dirty. No, I'm gonna quickly go get my orange. Yeah, so I don't know if one orange is enough. I'm going to literally just wing this and then it'll be fine. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Okay, well she still works. Maybe I should have done that first just to make sure. Okay. Are you ready? Don't be scared, don't be scared. I'm gonna taste a little bit. Really just want like the tiniest bit just to see if it's like any good. Let's see. Strong. Yep. That's gonna be like a little bit. This is gonna be one of those shots where you just want to take it in one shot and like get it over with. It's one of those, but it tastes good. I like it. I didn't add too much to it. Try to keep it as like simple as possible. It literally took me like 5 minutes to do, if not less, which is why I kind of love the juicer. I just hate cleaning it. Also, apparently, I literally just found out that it is adenomyosis awareness month in April, which is kind of crazy because April is also my birth month. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. That might still be too much ginger. Yeah, for sure. I need to drink some water. It's like a burn and it's lasting a little too long. Okay, that's better. We've now been married for 253 days and I am sitting here on the couch. My period started this morning and I decided, you know what, instead of me like stressing out my body and going upstairs into the office and sit at a desk, I'm just gonna be here super comfortable. I'm scrolling on Pinterest a little, get some inspiration, plan out some content. And I'm really just vibing, honestly. My period is not so bad this month, which I'm so grateful for. Like I keep imagining me being at work because like I'm still grieving the whole process of like, oh, I was supposed to be working, right? And like I said yesterday, like I'm actually doing really okay. Like I'm not as sad as I should be, right? But I just keep thinking like, imagine if I was working now. Like my period started, maybe a little too much information, but I'm still gonna share. My period started around like 9 o'clock this, like today, right? So this cycle. So I could only imagine me not expecting my period. Also, it's very early. It was not supposed to be here today. It was supposed to come in 2 days. So it's very early. So imagine if I was at work and then the shock at 9 o'clock when I've already been working half an hour that my period started. Ah! But thankfully, I'm having like a really, really nice period, like super calm, relaxing. I probably was like really on time with taking my pills. That's what it has to be. Like there's no other way. Also, apparently, I don't know if you knew this, but if you don't know, now you know. Apparently, it's okay to take like different. Oh, wait, let me take my phone because I actually Googled this. Usually, when I take my ibuprofen, I actually only take bread because in my head, when I was younger, my dad always used to say, "You have to eat bread." Oh, it's gone. How am I gonna find out what it was? My dad always used to say that I had to eat bread before I take my ibuprofen because usually my dad would be the one that is like still in the house when I was like dying of pain. I remember, my gosh, I remember being in like it's probably freshman year or at the second year. No, it was probably freshman year. One of the times that I got my period, I was in so much pain, like excruciating pain. I was literally laying on the floor. We had, I don't think you have that in any other system than a Dutch system. I'm not really sure. We used to call her concierge. Concierge. Girl, I'll put in the captions. Anyways, so I was literally laying on her floor. She had like a small little room and I was laying on her floor, my legs up, because my dad always taught me that when I'm in pain, like period pains, I had to put my legs up. Something with the blood, I'm not even sure if it actually like biologically, like factually works. All I know is that when I do it, I start to feel better. And so I was laying there on the dirty floor with my legs up. She called my dad, and my dad came all the way from work. He used to work in, you don't might not know Aruba, but if you do know Aruba, he used to work in San Nicolas. So he would drive from San Nicolas, come all the way to Oranjestad, where, I mean, I'm saying all the way, like it's so far, but you know, like when you're working, it's not really handy to have your daughter call that you have to come pick her up. So he used to drive, I would say it's about maybe like a 20-minute drive, maybe 15-minute drive from his work to my school. Would be 15, let's say more 20. And then he would pick me up, and then he would literally like walk in and see me on the floor bawling in pain. And honestly, me going to my doctor and explaining these things, they were so wrong for suggesting that I just needed to go on the pill. Like, they should have done some research and figure out what, like, if there was something wrong with me, because that happened too many times. Too many times. But anyways, what a time to be alive. It does make me wonder very often, like every time I have my period since finding out that I have adenomyosis, it makes me wonder how long I've had it, because in my brain, it just doesn't make sense that I've had it since like I was a teenager. Like if I look at my symptoms, it makes sense, but like I can't imagine that I've lived with it for so long and didn't know. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna get some work done. I have some YouTube videos to edit. I could also work on some short form content. I really just like, the day is open and free and I could really just choose what I'm gonna do today. Everything needs to get done. So it really is just about, okay, what am I going to prioritize? Nothing is in a rush to like be done like now. So I just want to take my time and get some work done, and then really just see where the day takes us. I might even say like, let me just relax, you know, stop work at like 1 or 2 o'clock and really just enjoy my period. Because what I really want to do, and I want to get to a point where when my period comes, it doesn't feel like a burden. I want to feel like, oh, my period, yay, like fresh start, like fresh cycle, you know, clean me out. Like I want to feel good about getting my period. I don't want to feel like it's a burden. And I'm not gonna lie, today I kind of feel like, my period. I kind of want to keep feeling this way. hours later, I'm still on the couch. Sorry that the lighting is so bad. I just really don't feel like getting up. I also kind of feel like crying. Not really, but just like a little bit. The reason why is because I had it on like my to-do list for today to go over, or at least to download, because for our wedding, right? Is the lighting really that bad? It's okay, right? For our wedding, we actually had a monitor that was projecting like a slideshow of pictures that people could upload in the moment. So they were able to scan a QR code that was also on the table on like the menu card that we had in the middle. And so they had to scan it, and then they could upload their pictures or videos or whatever that they were taking throughout like the reception, right? For some reason, I think it was like yesterday or the day before that, I was like, oh, I have to make it a thing to download them, because they actually stay on their website for a year, and then after a year they like delete everything, so then I'll never be able to get it again. And I never downloaded them yet, so I was like, I need to remember to do it. So I put it on my list of things to do for today. I don't want to say too much, and I'm kind of speaking a little too fast. Sometimes my brain goes a lot faster than my mouth is. But what I was saying was that I put it on my list of things to do for today, and I just did it, and I just want to cry so bad, because the memories that we made, not just on that vacation, but just the wedding, were just so nice. And looking at everyone's pictures, and these are pictures that they took, so I have like I haven't seen these yet, right? Oh, I love our family so much, and the memories that we made together, and I just feel so like grateful and blessed that this is my life. And you'd probably think like, that's interesting that you'd say that, even though you were supposed to be working. But like, work is like, yes, money is very important to be able to survive, but it's really not everything. I don't even know the point I'm trying to make. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. Let me show you some of the pictures. They're so cute. Okay, look. My heart. Look, this was the setup that we had. Oh, this. My lovely mother. Love her to pieces. But I think it was her idea to put these outside, and this was not the plan. One day we'll talk like all of wedding, but this was not the vibe. Like, this is not what we were doing. Like, it had to be completely different. But they had like flowers like sticking in this. It was so ugly. It was so ugly. So what I actually did when we were there is I pulled all of them out. I was like, no, this is ugly. Take it out. But I ended up leaving these, even though this was not the vibe. I'm not so mad at it. Hi, baby. I just downloaded all the pictures from the wedding. So yeah, this was the DJ set. The reason why we actually got this DJ is because of how amazing his setup was. And it was white. And it was so nice. You want to come see them? You should. The pictures are so cute, and the videos are so like... And this, oh, the story behind this. I should really tell you this too. The our logo, like getting the logo there. I'm gonna do a separate video. Let me know if you want a separate video of like all wedding talk, because then I'll go like in depth on like, you know, everything that happened. Oh, so cute. No. Oh look, this was us. I think this was before we said I do, because we're still like holding hands like this. So it's probably like vow time or something like that. Aww. Look at how red. I was so burnt. Oh, pretty. Oh, and our cups. I love our cups. We don't even have a professional picture of our cups. Can you believe it? But I'm so happy that someone took a picture with them. Look, these are the menu card things I was talking about that they had to scan. Oh, my heart! It's such a nice day today. I need a little for the lips. Okay. We've been married now for 254 days, and you don't even want to know how bad my night was. I actually feel kind of tired now, which makes me regret all my life choices. Not all, only the ones from today. So as you know, my period was yesterday, right? This is a little insight on life with adenomyosis. If I could find my hair gel so I could do my hair. At around like 11 o'clock, I actually decided, you know what, it's time for me to go to bed. Like, I felt tired and I felt ready to go to bed. And the pain, like the cramps started to hit. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, let me take some pills, which is exactly what I did. I always take ibuprofen as a like pain relief medication, right? And usually, oh, why do I have this in my hair? Usually ibuprofen, like if I could start to feel like the cramping happening a little bit, I really have like 5 minutes to take it before it gets bad, and then it stays bad for a little while. This time it decided to stay bad for a long time. So around 11 o'clock I jumped in the shower. I was in pain, and then I think I was out the shower probably by 11:30, and my husband was still downstairs, and my heating pad actually was downstairs, so I asked him to bring it up for me. The way that I just had to, I don't know if you've ever experienced period pains. If you have, you know that one of like the best positions to be in is to like rock back and forth like you're in labor, like what they usually do when they're in labor. Like that's the thing that just kind of like soothes it. It doesn't take away any of the pain, but it's just soothing the pain to like get you through it, right? But it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So literally from 11 o'clock till what I can remember, 2 o'clock, I was in excruciating pain, literally just trying to fall asleep, because usually what I would do is I would fall asleep and then I wouldn't necessarily feel the pain anymore, right? Because I wouldn't be thinking about it. I wouldn't actively feel it, right? So I was really trying to fall asleep, and it just was not going. Like I was up from 11, or let's say 11:30 when I was in bed, 11:30 all the way to 2 o'clock in the morning, in pain, just like begging God for it to be over. So then when 2 o'clock hit and I just literally couldn't take it anymore, and my heating pad wasn't as hot anymore as I needed it to be, I woke up my husband because he was sleeping already. And I was like, I need, like I need a new, like, I need new water, like hot water in my heating pad. So he got up. We have a, this is so dramatic, but it's very life with either adenomyosis, probably also endometriosis coded. I don't have endometriosis, so I'm not really sure. But I have a water, like a boiler. I have one next to the bed for moments like this. So we have one downstairs and then we have one upstairs, just to make sure that I always have a way to heat up water when I need it, because the pain literally feels so bad to the point where I feel like I can't do anything. I had my heating pad. It just started to feel so much better. Still in a lot of pain, but just so much better. And then I woke up again around 4 o'clock and realized that, you know, like I fell asleep and then everything's okay. And then I managed to sleep till I think like 8:30. Because remember yesterday when I was like, oh, I'm having such a good period day. And like I truly was, like I had the kind of period day yesterday where I was crampy, but it really wasn't bad, and it was just like vibing, like it was cute, it was, you know. I just spent a half hour pressing pimples. Terrible. I'm gonna go pack up my bag real quick because I always need like my period essentials. 1 second, I'm reading all these messages. Period essentials. First things first, you always need some pads. I personally don't, can you still see me? I personally don't wear tampons because I actually don't enjoy tampons, and apparently they're not good for you either. Second, heat pad. This one specifically I get from the Action. They're actually for muscles, right? Provides relaxation and heat. And I never put it directly on my skin, I just put it on my shirt. So because I feel like I'm doing pretty okay right now, I'm actually not gonna put it on my stomach, but I think I will put it on my back because my back is killing me. They last really long. Oh, are you like sliding or something? No, I can't tell you how long, but I feel like they last really long, so I love them. I need my medication, which I think I have downstairs, and because it's day 2, I think that's all I need for now. Yeah, because it's like doable, and we're like right like 10 minutes away from home, so yeah, I think this is all I need. Usually I'll be really extra and I'll have like a change of clothes, like another panty, you know, make sure that everything is good and I could be comfortable, because you know you do need that sometimes. Pack this up so I don't have to come back downstairs, or I mean upstairs. Yeah, I notice it sometimes that I just get a little too lazy and just want to take everything from, wait, am I decent? You can't see that, right? Okay, good. I have one that's like really short. No, but sometimes I really just don't want to come back upstairs unless I really have to. But like if I don't, then I might as well just take all of my stuff from home. Oh, I have these as well. Yeah, I already have like all of my things in here. And I had, where are you? I can't find it, but I had like a small black pouch that also had a bunch of stuff in it for like my period relief stuff. Just like those extra little things to make you feel comfortable, you know? I don't really need it today anyway. But if you want, let me know. I could show it to you. Someone's barbecuing. Ugh, I feel so jealous of people that are already sitting outside enjoying their garden, because our garden is absolutely not done. I mean, I guess I could sit outside on a chair, but I want a little bit more than a chair. Like I want a chair and like a table, you know, where I could sit comfortably. So I'm a little jealous of everyone that gets to sit outside already. Like in my neighborhood, people literally sit outside like in the front yard and they just like hang out and talk to other neighbors, which is so much fun. I personally don't really feel like, my neighbors are cool, like they're cool, but we're not friends, right? So I don't really feel like making it a thing to go sit outside and talk to them, at least not for super long. Like they literally, like they hang out with each other. I don't think I'll be the kind to do that, and they're not really my age either. Like they're a lot older, so it's like, yeah, it's just not really my thing. My husband sometimes though, like literally like stands, not sits, but stands and talks to our neighbor for a little bit too long. But they vibe, like, yeah. The men are a little bit different in my neighborhood. The women are very like just on their own, I notice. They're not really the kind of people where like I feel like you're asking questions. And the men, they're asking questions. Like the first time that why am I whispering? The first time that we came to the house to like start putting stuff in the house, We actually met him. Was it the first time? No, it was actually when we came to drop off the stuff. And my parents were here as well. That's when I guess my husband like really met him for the first time. Like I remember them shaking hands and like introducing themselves. And then he was like, yeah, like I have dogs. You want to meet them? And I was kind of like, well, yeah, sure. Like, let me meet your dogs. Like, I like dogs. And then he was like, okay, yeah, come in. So he opened the door. I just thought he meant like meet them, just I don't know, like maybe he'll come and like come out with a dog or something. But he was like, okay, come in. And so we literally went in his house. The first like 5-10 minutes that we met him, we like walked around his house, like in his house, walking around it, and he was like giving us a tour almost, and he was like showing off his dogs, which are super cute. I mean, you could hear them barking here and there. The men are just a little bit different, like a lot more open and inviting, and then the women in my neighborhood are very like, oh hi, okay, and then that's about it. But also I'm not inviting people into my house just to be in my house. Like, no, I don't know you like that. I don't really need to know you like that. Like, yes, we're neighbors, but like, this is not how you call it? Western stereo devious housewives. What is that thing called? Western. They say that brain fog is also a symptom of adenomyosis. Wait a minute. What do you call this thing? Desperate Housewives. Let me mixing two shows. Wisteria Lane. My brain sometimes. My energy is a little low today. We actually went to sleep at like 4 o'clock this morning. We've been married now for 255 days, and I must say I am really excited for the day. I'm excited to just have like a little relaxing, like cozy vibe. If I'm not mistaken, where is my, oh here. If I'm not mistaken, we are going to be making pastechis today. Pastechi is like it's deep fried. How do I explain what a pastechi is? It's not good for my diet to eat deep fried food. Am I gonna listen? I should. What is a pastechi? Pastechi is a traditional breakfast or snack from the Abese Islands. So basically Aruba, Bonaire, and Corso and Curacao. That is a crescent-shaped, deep-fried dough with a filling. It's similar to an empanada, which I love an empanada. But although empanadas often have cornmeal crusts, whereas pastechi often have a plain pastry shell. So I really wanted to, actually we've been putting off making pastechis for a couple of weeks already. Like we have like all the ingredients and everything. Because one morning we woke up and we're just like, we kind of want some pastechis. But like, not go to the shop and buy, not that you can just go to a shop and buy pastechis, but like, you know, go somewhere where they sell them. Not just go and buy one. Like have like a good couple of pastechis. And I was even saying like we could prep some, right? Put it in the freezer, and then whenever we're in the mood for pastechi, like you just pop up pastechi, like, you know what I mean? Like then everything's just like ready. We'll do my new routine. What is it, my new routine? It's actually not really or is it? Yeah, it's kind of a routine that I've been doing. I've done it like twice, but because my skin color is a little all over the place, I couldn't really figure out like a good way to, you know, make my makeup look, because I was using the Huda Beauty like Easy Blur in Toffee, and I noticed the time before I actually used this that my skin looked super light, and I was like, okay, I don't think I'm that color anymore. And I feel like this is matching pretty good. It's actually a skin tint though. It's Glowish Multi-Dew Skin Tint in tan. But it covers a little, which is what I need. I just need just a little bit of coverage. And then I take my ColourPop bronze sticks. I was also noticing that my bronzer was really off, so I wanted to try a different one, and I really like this one. I feel like it's like not too dark, not too light, just perfect. Usually when I don't speak and I'm just like, you know, therapy and like hanging out with myself, right? And doing my makeup, I tend to like be able to do this in like 5 minutes. It's such a like quick and easy routine. Oh, I put too much. I don't have it. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay, so I actually used toffee as a concealer, like not really concealer, but just like a highlighting the face. And the reason why is because I'm noticing that with me being pale, right, the concealer that I was using wasn't really looking that good on me, and I genuinely didn't even notice it all the time that I was using it. I decided I'm using this one that's lighter for me as a highlight for now until I get my tan back so I could use my concealer again. So it doesn't completely cover everything if you put a little bit on. You can build it up though, which is something that I noticed. Lately I've just been doing like a little like drop and like blending it out, and then you get a more like natural coverage. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday yet. I don't know if I want to do family time because the weather is gonna be so nice by that time, or I assume. I think the weather is gonna be really nice, so it would be nice to do like a barbecue outside. But then I'm also thinking like I'm gonna have to like, I mean, I wouldn't be actually doing the work. It would be more my husband doing the cooking and stuff. I just don't really want to be doing anything, you know? What kind of birthday girl are you? Like, are you the kind of girl that like loves to like host and have people over on your birthday, or do you prefer to just like do something like leave the house, take a trip, I don't know, visit a museum? Like, what kind of birthday girl are you? Because I actually had a birthday once, I think it was my 25th birthday, where I did a barbecue and I hosted everyone, or not me hosting everyone like at my place, but I was hosting the party. And I just felt like I was the one constantly running around and like, you know, making sure everyone else was comfortable and that everyone else had eaten and had something to drink and those sort of things. I did not enjoy that whatsoever. So I mean, it was a nice birthday party. It felt really nice that everyone, you know, made an effort and came to celebrate me. But I didn't feel, I was gonna say I didn't feel celebrated, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like I didn't feel like it was my birthday because I was the one doing all the running around. Like I wasn't getting served. Like I was serving. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. And the thing is like when I'm hosting, right? Like if we have people over and like my husband would like cook something for everyone to be able to eat, it's different because it's not my birthday. Then I genuinely like love doing it, and I love like hanging out and then like serving people. Like that's when I really enjoy it. But I don't really like it for my birthday. I also turned 25 at that time, so it could be that now it's a little different. I don't think so, but it could be. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. My mom was saying like maybe we could take a trip somewhere like close by. I've been loving this one, Just Cruising. I literally, this is almost the only powder blush that I have used in the last like 2 years, because I received, it doesn't have an expiration date on it. It's probably expired. It has to be expired. But I actually got this when we went to Marrakesh. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you don't know, because Marrakesh time I actually did vlog for YouTube. I just never posted it. I never worked on it because before I got engaged, I think, was it like 2-3 weeks before I got engaged, we were in Marrakesh. Was it 2-3 weeks? Well, it wasn't that much after. Yeah, no, it was 2 weeks. Girl, I don't know. Point is, less than a month before I got engaged, we were in Marrakesh for my 27th birthday. And that's actually when I received these blushes from Colourpop, and I went to Marrakesh with them, and that's when I tried them out for the first time. And fun fact, I'm gonna talk about this. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it. Fun fact, I actually thought I was getting engaged on that trip, and there was no like signs of engagement. It was just me being the Lulu and feeling like, okay, we're students. Well, actually, I wasn't a student anymore. Was he still a student? Oh, he wasn't a student anymore either. But we're fresh out of college, right? and we're still trying to figure out our career and, you know, like have that be a thing. And it just didn't seem realistic for us to get engaged. But I didn't care about realistic. Like, it was more like, now is the time for us to, you know, start moving like towards that. And it's not like I was like pressuring him or anything like that. It's just me in my mind. I felt like, okay, we're there now, like it's time. I'm gonna talk because I actually got a comment and I did mean to make a video on this or like talk about this at some point in the vlogs. I'm gonna talk about that later with my husband about how we met, because I feel like that's a fun story to tell. And I mean, he's probably not going to be in the video, but he needs to like be part of the conversation because his side of the story is completely different to my side of the story. So just something in me was like, this is the perfect, like easy way, like without like too much thought into it, way to have a proposal, because we're on vacation. Like, to me, and that's no shade to anyone having like proposals like on vacations, it's easy to do. No, not easy, because obviously I'm not the one proposing, so I'm not trying to say easy, but it doesn't take as much like effort in my head if you go on a trip and you look for a beautiful location, right? Location wise, like views and everything, to propose there. If you do it like when you're just like living day to day and whatnot, then you have to go and, you know, do all the work and preparation to have like maybe a place like set up nice and whatever, or, you know, like restaurant, whatever, right? So in my head, I was like, okay, we could easily, or he could easily like take me somewhere that looks nice, and then that's where like he could propose. So in my head I was like, he's probably not going to do it at the beginning of the trip because then it's my birthday, so like that wouldn't make any sense to like propose to me like right after my birthday, and like we're still celebrating my birthday because we traveled like on my birthday, and then the first day we were celebrating my birthday was when we were there. So it's like, he's not going to do it there because that doesn't make any sense. In my head he was going to do it the Sunday, so the day before we left. And then when he didn't, and it wasn't even like I was like so convinced, I just had a feeling like, oh, he'll probably do it on the trip because it's like the easiest thing to do. And then he didn't. And then it wasn't even a feeling of disappointment, because I genuinely had such a good time that day that I completely forgot it would happen. I remember because we were sitting at Pizza Hut and I was telling him like, you want to know something? And he was like, what? And I was like, well, I actually thought you were going to propose on this trip. Like, it just makes so much sense. Like, we're on a trip. Like, why would you not propose, right? And then he was like, really? Like, why would you think that? Like, why would you literally think that? Because if I could be a little transparent, it's not like we had it like that to be buying a ring, right? Or at least in my head. Because little did I know, he actually went to Marrakesh with my engagement ring. So he had it, like he calls it his Antillano bag, and it's literally just like a crossbody like little pouch. And in there he actually had the ring the whole time, like every single place that we went to in Marrakesh he had the ring. And when we first arrived at the airport, they wanted to check the bag, and he told me afterwards that he was so nervous because he thought that I would see it, right? So all of the time that we were in Marrakesh, like all the places that we visited, me having on a white dress, even though that was not intentional. No, that was not intentional because I didn't think like that was not the place he was supposed to. Anyways, all those places, he was literally walking around next to me, behind me, in front of me, taking pictures of me, taking pictures together, my hand like close to his chest where the bag is, right? All of that time he had that engagement ring with him. But the only reason, or at least I don't know if it's the only reason, but the reason why he said that he didn't propose is because he didn't get a chance to talk to my parents and ask for my hand in marriage, which I definitely made it a point in the past, like when we first started talking about getting married. I was like, I would really like you to ask them because I feel like it's such a like nice and respectful thing to do, and it builds such a good foundation as well for a relationship once you get married, right? So You're not asking for permission, you're just, you know, like giving them the heads up kind of thing. He said that the reason why he didn't do it is because of that. And in my head, still to this day, I'm thinking like, well, yeah, you could have just asked him there. And he has mentioned that it just wasn't feeling right. Like he just had the feeling of it wasn't right. So in the moment when we were at Pizza Hut, he was like, oh, like that's really weird. Like, why would you think that? I don't remember the exact words, but it was very much leading towards like, you know, like we're not really there like affording the ring. So then when we came back to the Netherlands, I had a Kylie Jenner event, the Kylie Cosmetics event for what was it? Was it just a random event? I think it was just a random event. Like it wasn't anything specific. It was just, yeah, very random. And I remember we went out to go look for a dress because I didn't have an outfit to wear. And we were looking around at like things that I could wear. I was like, oh, this would be so cute for me to wear like for a proposal. And all this time, which doesn't make any sense to me, I still had no inkling that I was getting engaged. Like literally a week later. Was it a week later? That same week. Wait, I need to double check that if it was that same week. And the reason why I think it didn't really register to me is because in my head, like we couldn't really afford a ring yet. So like it's not happening anytime soon, right? We came back from Marrakesh the 24th of April. Okay, so it was a little bit longer than 2 weeks. Then that weekend after that, we went on like a little trip thing. Not really a trip, but we did like a little roulette, like with a dice, and just took trains to just wherever we would end up. And we ended up in Utrecht somewhere, and it was so nice. Like we were walking around a lot. Like I don't know if you can see the picture. Can you see that? And then, oh, it was 2 weekends. Okay, never mind, it was 2 weekends. So then I went to the Kylie Jenner event. I went to the Kylie Jenner event on the 30th of May. Wait, so it wasn't that 27th of May? Did I like not take any pictures between this time? Oh, it really was. Oh, wait. So it was like a month later. Okay, so it was like, yeah, no, it was a lot more than 2 weeks. Why in my head is it 2 weeks? I don't know. So I went to the Kylie Jenner event on the 30th of May. And then on the 2nd of June, we got engaged at my parents' house. And it was just like so thought out and completely like decorated and so cute. My parents tried to distract me the entire day. Even though they were acting weird, like I should have literally known. But in my head, there's no money for a ring. So like I didn't see it coming, right? But he did such a good job on everything. And that's a little story about the pre-engagement. What is life? What is life? Okay, I'm gonna finish up my makeup because I've been talking for way too long already. And then we're gonna head downstairs. I think we're gonna do a little worship and just hang out, have some husband and wife time, you know, talk and just vibe. And then we're gonna make some pastechis later, which would be fun. I'll show you how to make them while I learn how to make them because I actually don't know how to do that. I just looked at the footage for a second to make sure that like audio, everything was good. Why is it only focusing on the mirror? Like the least important thing? Anyways, I'm really sorry that it's not completely in focus, but I still hope that you enjoyed my little pre-engagement story because, I don't know, it was fun to tell. For a second there, I even forget that happened. Also, a little update real quick before I go downstairs. I think this is right enough. My husband just brought me some mango. I love frozen mango. It's like the best thing to eat, honestly, especially on a warm day like this. I actually love it throughout the year. Like winter time, anytime, I'll eat a frozen mango. But it's so much better when it's warm outside. But about the Huda Beauty setting spray, when I first tried it out, I noticed that it had some droplets, right, when I was spraying it. But I didn't think much of it because, you know, it was like first spray, so I just thought like that's what it was. Like, okay, first spray, because then when I shook it again, like properly, right, I actually didn't notice the droplets anymore, and it sprayed out very misty, right? But I used it again and it had droplets. And I also have seen other people use it and also complain about the droplets. So they do say that when you use the small travel size one, that it sprays out very like misty and beautiful. So I haven't tried it because I don't really see the point in it personally. I'm just gonna keep using this one because the like end result and product and everything is just really good. It leaves that very like blurred type of finish. It sits very beautiful, and also my makeup lasts very nicely this way, or like when I set my face with this. So I'm willing to take the droplets. However, just thought I would mention that little side note. I do notice the droplets still happening, and I think this is it my second time using this? Yeah, it's my second time using it, or is it my third? It's my third time using this. The second time I didn't have a lot of droplets either, because I feel like I shook it well. I also feel like I shook it well today, and today it still had droplets. I don't know. Point is, just a little FYI for you to know that if you want to try this out, I would definitely say try it, because the end result is gorgeous, but the droplets is kind of annoying. The way that I did it today is just spray it on, and then when I see the droplets, just kind of tap it so that it doesn't stay like a drop and dries like a drop. And I'm very happy with it. Oh, what's going on here? I need to clean this mirror. It's not cute. Anyways, now I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna go and enjoy myself and have a little relaxing Saturday.
And David was the youngest. He smiled and he took a chest full of air, and his troops would be victorious. They were always the ones that were. Seems super confusing to me.
Okay, we're starting the process of making the pastechis. Can we give some context? What's going on? You're just boiling the chicken?
Yeah, once that happens, you go into the chopping.
Okay.
Boiling the chicken so good. Shred it.
Okay. So chopping, he is also chopping some onions. And that's for the meat.
This
The
is
grind
for
meat.
meat. We're going to also make some for chicken.
Okay. Okay, then we have some sweet peppers. Also for both or just for the meat?
Also for wood.
I want us to talk about, also by the way, I decided to drag a chair in here so that I can watch the pastechis get made, because realistically we both know that I wasn't going to stand and actually make them. I was just going to be here for like support. But I want us to talk about the story of how we met. Someone asked in the comments if I could talk about it, and I feel like now is the perfect time for us to do that. So it was a very beautiful day. I can't remember. I remember in my memory, it was a beautiful day, because when it's a rainy day on Aruba, like you just know that it was a rainy day, right? At least that's how I experienced it. I don't remember what day it was. It was the first day of school, high school. We were in, how do you call vierde klas? Vierde klas will be in the captions. And I walked into school. My dad always used to drop us off at the like freshman building, because there's two, like, or is it a building? It's more like two different like plots of land. Two different plots of land, and then when you cross the road, then you get to like the higher grades, and then the freshman building was on the other side of the road. So he used to drop us off there because that would be the easiest way to get to school from our house. Actually, now that I think about it, it really wasn't. Oh, the reason why is because my brother was still a freshman at that time. Yeah, he was still a freshman at that time. So he used to just drop us off there, and then I would walk into school. No, he was not in derde. When I was in the vierde?
What class he was in? He was in tweede.
Oh, then he was in the tweede, yeah.
That is not.
But it's still freshman building. Anyways, for it to make sense, he was a sophomore in the freshman building, freshman and sophomore building. It's just about it making sense, right? So I was walking from that side of the building into the like the schoolyard, and we had two cafeterias. Is it cafeteria? No, that's too big. It's more of a. Don't laugh at me. Help me with my words. You could call it. Think of it like a bar where you could get food. Does that make sense? Does that like sell the picture?
I don't know if it does, but that's what it is.
Yeah, we'll call it a bar. There's two bars on the school. The bar sounds so bad, like a high school thing.
Full of alcoholics.
Yeah. They did not sell any alcohol, by the way. But the one on one side of the school where I was walking past, that is a moment that I actually looked up and saw Mr. Man. Ooh, are we still calling you Mr. Man? We don't have a new nickname for you. We need to think of a new nickname.
How about your husband?
Okay, that's also one. But sometimes I like a nickname.
Okay. Nicknames are for people who did not propose and did not get married.
Okay.
I don't need a nickname, I have a title.
Say that in the mic. Say that in the mic so that we can make sure that the people here could hear you.
I do not need a nickname because I have a title.
Okay. Well, Mr. Title, where I saw my husband for the very first time. I used to future husband at that time for the very first time because I used to have this thing where I would be really shy walking by myself. And I would look down very often when I was walking like across like the schoolyard. And for some reason, I just looked up, like had this feeling of like look up. And at that time, my eyes were still good. So I was able, to actually see him. Like now, if that had to happen now, I wasn't seeing him because I really like needed glasses. So then I looked up, and then, are we gonna tell this part of the story too? The reason why I don't like to tell this part of the story is because I have done it before and people have told me like, sure, if that's what you believe. I'm going to tell this part of the story. I have always had, like I've always known God, but I've never, that's not the right word to use. For a long time, I wasn't able to recognize when he was talking to me, right? And at that point, also, mind you, that time, I still had a boyfriend. Also kind of important to mention. When I saw him, like very far away, I got this like voice in my head that...
You realize you get a lot of backlash for this, right? You might get backlash.
Why would I get backlash for this? I wasn't lusting after you. That's the whole point of the thing. Yes, I was not lusting. Anyways, I was not. I had this voice tell me, that's no
voice. Say it as it is, but we don't deal in the hair voice.
Okay, it wasn't just a voice, but I'm trying to make it as like understanding as possible. I heard in my head, right? That's your husband. So at that point, one, did I not recognize it was God? And two, I thought it was weird because like, what do you mean? Like, you know, like you're just walking around, you see somebody and then you just have this like, that's your husband? You know, I didn't understand it. But I also didn't even like really pay attention to that happening. It was just, it happened in a moment and I really just didn't even pay no mind to it because I had a boyfriend. Like, what do you mean? That's my first time actually seeing him. I don't actually know when I met you. I don't know how many days after like being in the school. Also, that was his first day being in my school because the way that it works on Aruba, or used to work, is they had Colegio Arubano, and there was 2 buildings. So they had one in the capital of Aruba, and then they had another one in another district called San Nicolas. They only have, or used to have then, back then, they used to only have till like the 3rd grade, not 3rd grade, derde de class captions. And after that, like when they would, go to the next grade, they would actually have to come down to our school in where the capital, no? One school, but different buildings. So our capital, our building, that's where they would have to come to go and continue studying. So that was his first day at that school. So the first time that we were in like the same, or at least from what we know, because I believe in like all those little theories where you possibly haven't like seen each other before, right? And we don't really know if that has happened. But I mean, Aruba's small, so most probably. So yeah, I don't recall meeting you, like, hi, my name is, but he does recall meeting me. And in his head, he felt like I was very like shy and in love looking, like as if I already liked him at that point, right? At least that's how you tell me. Am I telling your story right?
My story, right?
Yeah.
The story.
No, your story. Your story. He swears that that's what happened, and I swear that.
Me or you?
Yeah, you looking at me, but that don't mean that that's what it was.
And that's not what I said. I said I described how you looked.
Oh, well, he described me as like giggly, and to him that translated to me liking him. But I remember.
Clearly, I was right.
No, because in that moment I didn't like you yet.
Clearly, given our current situation, clearly I was right.
Yeah, but in that moment when I was giggly to
You're not aware
of my feelings.
Just because you're not aware yet of how you feel, don't mean that that's not what it is.
I understand your point, but I just know, like deep down in my heart, like with everything in me, I know that I didn't look at you that way because I had a boyfriend and had genuinely, truly liked him at the time. Anyway, so in my experience, right, I have a boyfriend, so like that's who I'm vibing with, and I'm really not looking at anyone else that way. In his experience, he feels like I was giggly and like it was giving crush, right? And some drama happened. We're not going to talk about all of that. And then somehow we start dating. And that's basically, I mean, it's really not all that, is it? Like a wow story of how we met?
I mean, you were also introduced to.
Yeah, we were introduced to one another. But that's the story.
It's boring.
Yeah, it is kind of boring now that I think about it. It's not as wow.
Not everything that lasts starts with a bang.
Good point. Another time we'll talk about me like figuring out that he's my husband. Because then the vlog will take too long and we don't got time for that. Okay, Mr. Director. Okay, how's the pastechi coming along?
The meat is finished. The chicken is still boiling.
Okay.
When the chicken finishes boiling, we're going to shred it, season it.
Hold it close to your mouth.
When the chicken finishes boiling, we're going to shred it, season it, and fry it, stir fry.
Okay.
When that is done, we will start with the dough. And the dough will rest for 30 minutes, in which the filling could cool to the point where it wouldn't mash up the dough. And it's going to fill it up. That's it.
Exciting. That's it. And voila.
And voila. Voila, 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 voila,
Voila.
voila, and voila.
So often we have no idea what God is arranging behind the scenes. But if we're still enough, if we truly listen, we just might catch the whisper of something better unfolding. See you next time.